Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rants and Rabbit Trails. I'm your host, Pearl.
And I'm your host, Morgan.
And today we've got some real fun stories for you.
Super
Or at least
exciting.
I know mine's going to be real fun.
Mine's not.
Well, it's actually not fun at all.
It's very chaotic and haphazard, but this is Rants and Rabbit Trails. Those are our middle names.
That is my middle name, for sure. Yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into our stories?
I just want to say again that we are joined once again by Peanut, the podcast puppy.
Peanut.
She is right now resting on the coffee table.
After she just
violently attacked us with
with
love.
Kisses and love.
Mostly you though, because you kind of got
That tongue was definitely in my mouth, but
unfortunately
we love that for her
you gotta
and
look
me.
out for that. You gotta look out for that. I swear she just like lies
She's
and
like,
waits
a little
for that.
Frenching never hurt nobody.
Yeah. Be careful. Don't knock my
Don't
lamp
break
over.
your property. Well, you invited me.
No, you're good, man. You're good. That was free.
Knocking things over.
Yeah.
Sorry. I've got the zoomies personally right now.
Yeah.
My caffeine's really kicking in. So this is gonna be fun.
Let's do it. All right. So today, I don't even know what our theme technically is, if we have one. It's just too kind of chaotic,
I would say.
Crazy. My story is a little tragic.
Yeah, mine is something. You'll be able to determine for yourself.
Yeah, I will say that as a little disclaimer, my story at least has mention of suicide and murder and things like that, of that sort. So please just be advised that we're going to be discussing those types of topics today. And if you don't feel comfortable listening to this episode, that's completely fine, but wanted to throw that out there.
Mm-hmm. Mine won't involve any death or murder or anything like that. So, yeah.
Cool.
I was trying to think of what trigger warnings this might have, but I don't know. The sea.
The ocean.
If you don't want to think about the ocean. Oh.
What is that called? Like, I have that phobia, like, of deep water in the ocean.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thalassophobia.
I just remembered.
Oh my god. I don't even want to get into it because I could really talk for hours. But the whole submarine thing this week.
Okay, I was going to mention that at some point today.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Over recording or not. The whole Titan submarine. That was a roller coaster of a week.
I have always been really, I don't even like looking at pictures of shipwreck stuff. Anything underwater, like if I get a video on TikTok that is like an underwater video, I literally just scroll right past it because I'm so scared.
Yeah, no thank you.
So yeah, that was some nightmare fuel.
God. Anyways.
You wait, what?
I said, on that note, would you like to share your story first?
Sure. On that ocean
or should
note.
we start on mine because it's kind of like tragic? I don't know. Do we want to end on that note or?
I don't know.
I have absolutely no fucking idea what your story is today. So, what it's about. All I know is that you said it was a poop cruise.
Yes, it is indeed a poop cruise. I named my document Carnival Pee Pee Poo Poo. You know what? I'll just go first.
All right, let's go.
This is not going to be super long anyway, so I'm just going to get right into it. So today we're talking about a cruise ship disaster. I have a little bit of a fascination with cruises. Not that I've ever been on one or ever want to go on one, but the amount of people that go missing on cruises, there's just some shady stuff. So we're talking about the Carnival Triumph today. The Carnival cruise line has had a lot of controversy over the years for different wrecks and whatnot.
Yeesh.
But yeah, this is known as the poop cruise / the poop cruise from hell across the internet.
The poop cruise from hell.
So the Triumph set sail from Galveston, Texas on February 7th, 2013 on what was planned to be a 4-day trip. After departing from a stop in Mexico and heading back to Texas, things took a turn for the worse.
Dun, dun, dun.
February 10th, 2013, at 5:16 a.m., the second engineer receives an alert about a fire alarm from the engine room.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
Nope.
Upon his arrival at the site of the alarm, he discovers that a fuel pipe has burst, and it's just gushing fuel everywhere.
Oh, no.
At 5, so he tries to shut down the generator, but it's too late. At 5:27, fire ignites in the engine room. At 5:28, the passengers, crew, and the captain, who was off duty at the time, all wake up to the first officer announcing a code for fire. At 5:30, the captain takes over control, and the passengers start evacuating their rooms as smoke begins to fill some of the lower decks.
Uh-oh. Wait, when did this happen?
This was in 2013.
2013, okay. I missed
Set
that.
the scene. At 5:39, the cruise director announces that there is a situation in the engine room, but that everything's under control and basically tells everyone not to worry. Many panicked passengers started putting on life vests and gathering around the lifeboats, and crew members are there trying to reassure them everything's under control, but they're like not giving any specifics. I would literally personally be losing my absolute mind.
Yeah.
Be like jumping into the water.
No.
Not really, but at 5:47 a.m., the cruise director makes an announcement that there's no reason to be alarmed or to prepare for exit, and asks people to return to their rooms. After this, almost all the lights on the ship go out.
No, thank you. Oh my god, I'd be shitting myself.
And most of the power, along with the propulsion system. So they're just, all of a sudden,
Literally stranded
floating.
in the dark.
Yep.
Oh.
At 6:08 a.m., the cruise director announces that the fire was put out, but that they needed to wait for the engine room to cool down before they could restore power to the ship. At around 9 a.m., many of the passengers who were previously like, oh, okay, this is going to be fine, began to realize that the situation was only going to get worse. Not only were they left just drifting off of the Gulf of Mexico, but the AC was broken, the elevators didn't work, there was no running water, and worst of all, the septic system failed.
Oh my god.
The cruise director announces that there would be biohazard bags delivered to everyone and telling them to poop in the bags and to pee in the showers.
Oh my. Who doesn't pee in the shower anyway?
Right. Certain types of rooms couldn't be aired out, so passengers started dragging their beds out onto the outdoor areas of the ship. The Lido deck was given the nickname Tent City because passengers literally tied up sheets all across the whole thing and made this big covering.
Oh my gosh, like a little cruise top bazaar.
Exactly. That's what they thought
Probably
too.
not as fun.
Because the stabilization on the ship went out, it would rock back and forth really hard, which is called listing in nautical terms, I learned. This was, of course, really stressful in itself because people were having to grip onto things not to go sliding around.
My guts out.
But also because the septic/drainage system wasn't working and the toilet facilities were already backed up, sewage basically just started sloshing all over the place.
No! Oh,
the carpet was soaked with it. It soaked the walls and the ceilings in some places.
I understand why it's the poop cruise from hell.
Right.
I understand now.
So you've got that, and then you've also just got literal bags of poop from everyone on the cruise piling up in random spots.
Oh.
There's just little bags of shit everywhere. So people started hoarding food, and the kitchen got extremely backed up because they were not prepared for people to be like hoarding food for their entire families. The next day, the 11th, the cruise director announces that 2 different Carnival cruise ships, the Legend and the Conquest, will be passing by to share supplies with the Triumph. They also announced that there would be 2 tugboats arriving that afternoon to begin towing the ship to land. Which I'm like...
I'd be like, can I get off?
Can I
get on the other cruise ship? And get off of this literal shithole?
This whole thing has made me so confused about why there's not, like, I don't know, a backup system in place? Like a backup ship?
Like
I don't know, to come grab those
generators or things like that. I have no idea how all of that works out on the sea. But
no.
Yeah.
A single passenger that was behind on her dialysis treatment was rescued by the Coast Guard. And then I think one other person got rescued at some point. But only 2 people of everyone on the ship was able to get off.
And how many people were?
Let's see.
Were there stats?
I want to say there was 4,000. It was like 4,200 people. Yeah. A lot. So it was like a little bit over 1,000 crew.
Oh,
and then the rest were passengers.
Okay, this is a big ass.
Yeah, she's a biggin'. The crew continues on with activities and entertainment, doing their best to make the passengers as happy as they can.
Literally, like, covered in shit.
I know, I'm like, what kind of entertainment?
Yeah. What?
At this time, CNN starts broadcasting news about the disaster, and there's literally like news helicopters.
What?
I would be so fucking butthurt.
I'd be like, bring that fucking copter down here. Get me off of this sewage ship.
Fucking wild. And then it just becomes a big, huge media frenzy. Everyone back on land is like, what the fuck is going on? But no one on the ship really knows that there's like big coverage. They're just trying to survive.
They're still out of
They're
power,
getting splashed with shite. Yeah.
Fucking splash with shite.
I wrote, on board, passengers started getting used to life on the poop ship, and they started trauma bonding.
Oh, yeah, well,
as one would.
Yeah.
Blissfully unaware of the media coverage. So when the tugboats show up and begin towing them to Mobile, Alabama, which is the closest spot they can get to, they decide to celebrate by having an open bar.
I'd be like, I need a few shots of whiskey at this point.
And I'm like, you know what? I do get that. I really do. But it literally had to be shut down after 2 hours because passengers were getting so rowdy and like throwing shit everywhere.
Sloshed.
They were literally sloshed. So yeah, I don't know why anyone would think that's a good idea.
Oh my god. Open bar, free drinks for everyone.
So, because the ship is literally a massive cruise ship and the tugboats are 2 small tugboats.
Yeah, which smart motherfucker made that decision? Fucking Albert Einstein ass.
So, the ship is going way, way, way slower than the speed it would normally be going.
Yeah.
The captain still predicts their arrival for 8 p.m. that evening.
He's like still up on the helm. He's like looking out on the horizon.
So the food circumstances had improved, with wait times decreasing from 2+ hours to around 10 minutes, which is great, but the bathroom situation just got even worse, as you can imagine.
I'd be so upset.
I don't know. I mean, like, people were getting sick and stuff, obviously, too, because, like, when there's literal poop being thrown about, there's not much you can do. The cruise director announces that passengers must take down all the sheets in Tent City because there would be 2 helicopters arriving to provide more relief. They delivered extra generators.
Did they bring, like, porta potties?
Okay, for real, though! I'm sorry. They really needed to do better, but I don't know how this cruise stuff works, but Carnival, you won't be getting a dime
As
from
somebody with tummy issues and gets, like, motion sick really easily, like, and is terrified of vomiting and, like, all of those things, I would literally be in hell. I would probably jump overboard at that point. I would rather die.
Like, fuck y'all. They'd, like, be catching me escaping on my own lifeboat.
Yeah.
So, when the helicopter guys came and brought some generators, it allowed for some of the elevators and toilets to begin working again. I'm like, oh,
why didn't they have generators before?
I don't know.
Carnival, get your shit together.
They also announced to everyone that in addition to a full refund, there would be credit for a free cruise for all passengers and $500 each. I don't know about you, but I think I'd want a little bit more than $500, and I don't think I would ever want to go on a cruise again.
Just, like, sell your cruise ticket or something?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably what a lot of people did.
Like, can I just trade this in for...
Can you please give me cash? Because, like, not in a fucking moment. And, like, some people were like, oh, sweet, free cruise. And some people were like, fuck no.
Yeah.
After they announced all that about the refund and whatnot, the mood became a lot better, which is kind of interesting to me. Just because I don't really feel like it was that good of a compensation for what they all just went through.
Yeah.
But people were like, woo!
How about you pay for my therapy?
Right. The next day, on the 14th, the ship has slowed down drastically, basically to a mile per hour, due to changes in the tide. And the cruise director announces that their new arrival time is 8 p.m. the next evening. The next day, as the passengers come off the ship, and as they get close to land, they, like, start getting service again, and they've been able to, like, charge their phones on the ship at this point, so they start getting all the media coverage. And the second they step off the ship, there's, like, a ton of press there.
I'd be like, get out of my way or else I'm gonna shit on you.
So some people were like that, and then some people actually stopped and were like, you know, giving their little interviews and whatnot.
Oh my gosh. The duality of man.
Right. One of the buses transporting passengers to the airport actually broke down on the way, causing passengers to miss their flights back home. I'd be like, is this a fucking
Am I
joke?
cursed at this point?
And then, so the Carnival Triumph was docked and underwent repairs that cost $50 million. During this time, there were really strong winds that knocked the ship out of its spot, and it floated across the river to the opposite bank and knocked into another ship. 2 people got knocked into the water from that other ship, and only one of them was rescued.
What?
So there was a fatality, but not from the actual cruise itself.
Literally throw the entire boat away.
Literally, this bitch is cursed.
Throw the whole thing away.
So after all that, they renamed the Carnival Triumph to the Carnival Sunrise, and she's still in the fleet today.
Why? So they had to rename her because people were like,
I don't think they renamed her right away, but like a couple years later, they renamed her. Also, during all this, I was reminded that ships are exclusively referred to as her.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that is such a weird fact. But yeah, that is my poop cruise.
Oh my god. Okay. That was in 2013.
2013. Exactly.
I already don't ever really want to go on a cruise. I am not. I don't have sea legs. I love going on ferries, like the Jetty Island ferry or the ferries, you know,
we've got a lot of good ferries around here.
Yeah, we do. Oh, so pretty. Now I really want to go on a ferry ride. We should do that soon.
We should
do that soon. But And, like, standing up on the deck and where it's super fucking windy and stuff.
Dude, I even get scared being on ferries. Like, I love it, but I love a ferry ride.
Yeah. But I couldn't spend time on a ship or on a cruise ship for, like, a week or something. Like, a vacation.
Absolutely not.
No. One, obviously, like, the whole water fear thing. And then two, like, I feel like I would go crazy. Because even if it's a big cruise ship, like, I'm on the water, there's nowhere else that I can go.
Literally.
Except this ship.
Well, and you would think if there was a disaster, there would be, like, another ship that would come get you or something.
Yeah.
But no. I'm like, the fact that these two other cruise ships
they're like,
literally
hey,
pulled right up, did these special maneuvers to, like, literally get right up to the boat so they could hand supplies off. I'm like, you can figure that out, but you can't figure out, like...
Just let the people on. Just split up.
Like, I don't know.
Back.
I feel like there's literally a million solutions, but I'm no cruise director.
No, that would mess with, like, the other people's vacation. So, that's...
I can't... There's videos of, like, the other ship coming up to the Triumph, and everyone's like, we wish we were on there. It's like, no shit, first of all, but I would just feel so butthurt looking at all those other passengers, because they were all gathered at the end, like, waving.
have a good rest of your trip. Like, did those people not fucking know what was going on?
No. I'd be like, fuck you.
These rich motherfuckers.
I hope you get pooped on too.
I know that not everybody that goes on cruises are rich, but still.
Yeah.
There has to be, like, this, like, some sort of...
It's a certain type of vibe.
Yeah. And it's not one that I'm specifically fond of. To me, I don't know if this is going to make any sense, but you know those, like, white people suburban homes where the bathroom is, like, decorated like a beach?
Yes.
It gives me, like, that type of person vibes. Like, dude, those are the people that would...
You're so right about that. Like, if you're going on a cruise, you definitely have shells on display somewhere in your house.
And
I'm
like
not
a jar
saying...
of sand.
Yeah.
And, like,
Do you feel
something
called out?
that's painted, like a beach.
And there's, like, a little wooden shabby chic sign that's, like...
In the shape of a surfboard. Ew! I hate that shit.
I used to clean houses.
I'm sorry, but I just don't like it.
Many a bathroom like that have I cleaned.
Not my favorite. Oh god. It's just like the live, laugh, love vibe.
Also, I didn't want to, like, get too into, like, the... I don't know, all of the inspections and stuff for the cruise, but, like, they did find that there had been problems that were basically just ignored.
Naturally.
And they're basically, this ship was not seaworthy at the time,
like the
as
Titanic.
we saw,
or like the submarine, and they just went for it anyway.
At least it wasn't controlled by a Logitech controller.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god! Yeah. That would honestly, no.
Yeah. I mean, like, I used to think cruises was something I wanted.
Cruises were something I wanted to do someday on my bucket list.
When I was a kid, because I was like, oh my god, you know, you see, like, Disney cruises and stuff, and you're like, oh, that's sick. But it's like, you could just go on a normal vacation.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people describing it as, like, traveling for people who don't like to travel, because you stop at, like, ports and stuff.
Yeah, well, and Aubrey, my older sister, Aubrey and Jason, they went on a cruise, like, for their honeymoon, and I think they've gone on one again since then. I'm not 100% sure, but they're, like, really, like, Jason's really frugal and always finds deals, and his family is, like, the family. They know everybody. Everywhere. Like, I don't know how they do it, but So they always get really good deals or coupons for trips and things like that. They've been to Disneyland multiple times.
Dang.
And like haven't broken the bank, and they really enjoyed the cruise that they went on because it kind of like it wasn't you were on the boat the entire time. You know, there were multiple stops at ports, since you could spend the day on the beach, like and like walking around a town or rent a moped and like ride around somewhere, and it wasn't like you were just stuck on the boat the entire time. So that sounds kind of appealing, but
there's
still
parts of it that sound appealing.
It would depend, like. It would really depend, I think, probably on, like, the itinerary.
Yeah.
And the vibe of the cruise, because I'm not a huge, like, I don't like necessarily the vibe of stuff like that, or, like, amusement parks, or, like, water parks. Like,
dude, I love a water park. I don't really want to go to that kind of thing anymore, but, like...
I can't describe, like, exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, I do love going to like the state fair and things like that, but there are certain vibes where it's like I feel like at any moment in time I'll start feeling really icky. Like maybe it's the food, maybe it's the environment, maybe it's just like the sheer amount of people.
Yeah.
And I think that I always get sick afterwards too, so that probably plays into it too.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely known people that are like, you know, there's like cruise families. There's people who like, that's their thing. Like they cruise.
They be cruising.
And you know, obviously they probably wouldn't still be doing that if they weren't having a grand old time. But being as chronically online and as hyperfixated in weird ass niche subjects as I am, I've learned entirely too much about cruises for me to ever want to step foot on one.
Yeah. Too many horror stories.
So I don't think this is going to be my last cruise story.
Yeah.
Just warning everyone.
Thank you, Pearl, for that amazing story you shared with us today.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome.
Moving on to our next segment. I have a story about the Village of the Damned.
Oh my good gosh.
Otherwise known as Dudleytown, Connecticut. The long-abandoned Dudleytown was a settlement located in northwest Connecticut, nestled in the wood of Dark Entry Forest.
What?
Creepy ass name.
Ain't no way.
I know. And though never an actual town, the name was given to a portion of Cornwall that included several members of the Dudley family. It was also originally known as Owlsbury due to the large population of owls that would send hoots upon hoots.
I love
through the forest.
The just straight up Owlsbury. They're like, there was a bunch of owls.
Owlsbury. It's called Owlsbury. And the village was abandoned by the early 1900s.
Okay.
So, named Dark Entry Forest due to the shadows cast by the mountains in the surrounding area, the forest is nice and cool on a hot day, and it's apparently almost completely dark by noon.
Dude, it sounds like the 100-Acre Wood.
And, of course, back in this time, like, spiritual people or beliefs, like, people commonly held superstitious beliefs and fear of what lived in the forest. And
as they should.
In the dark places less traveled. And I doubt that the perpetual shadow of the mountain helped.
Yeah, probably not.
Or the forest, like...
Spooky.
Is literally dark, like, 18 hours a day or something.
That's crazy.
So we have a forest that's always shadowy, called Dark Entry Forest, and filled with owl hoots. That's like textbook spooky forest shit.
Literally. Catch me not in that forest.
The land was originally owned and settled in the 1740s by a man named Thomas Griffiths. Later on, several other families joined Thomas in settling the area, including members of the Dudley family. Though the Dudleys didn't arrive until 1747, they became a big name in the community due to their numbers and contributions to the settlement. So,
okay, that's kind of sick, honestly. They're like, okay, sure.
And then they just nicknamed it Dudleytown because there were so fucking many of them, apparently.
Oh my god.
So the little settlement grew primarily due to the iron industry after iron ore was found to be present in the area. Timber was obviously also readily available, and the rocky soil, being next to the mountains, aided in the building of homes and foundations. So people farmed, mined, and lived in the hope that their American dream was growing closer every day. Everything seemed to be going great until it wasn't.
Hey.
So the downfall of the settlement has been a topic of speculation for a while, with many different theories existing of what could have been the spark that burnt it all down. Legends and speculations have sprouted around the origins of a curse that caused the town's dark history and events, including suicides, murders, madness, crop failures, and more. And more.
Suicides, crop failures.
And more. Some have said that the forest itself is demonically possessed and inhabited by evil creatures and demons. From all the sources I found, it seems like the rumors began sprouting around the 1920s and really took off around the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
Ed and Lorraine Warren themselves officially declared the settlement as demonically possessed in the 70s.
Those Warrens.
You know, the Warrens. Much to my dismay, I could not find a whole lot of actual info on the case that they conducted there, which was really a bummer because that would have been cool.
Rats.
The story goes that pretty much anyone who attempted to live in Dudleytown or settle in this area inevitably met less than fortunate endings. But, I mean, this far it just kind of seems like an eerie, shadowy valley that didn't make the cut long term. So, where do all the rumors come from? Why is it referred to as the Village of the Damned? And what the fuck is up with Dudleytown?
What the fuck is up?
Kyle? I can't. Okay. Enter Edmund Dudley. Edmund.
Also, my problem is that I'm imagining an entire family of Dudley Dursleys from Harry Potter.
Dudley Dursleys? I know. I kept thinking of Harry Potter too. I was like, Dudley.
Anyway.
Entire family just like...
They're all just clones.
Photocopies, yeah. Clones of Dudley. Oh my gosh. Edmund Dudley. Edmund was an English nobleman who was supposedly involved in a treasonous plot to overthrow King Henry VIII, was locked up in the Tower of London, and subsequently beheaded in 1510.
Dude. Not the beheadings.
Not the beheadings. Rumor has it that it was at this moment in time that the Dudley line was cursed to befall misfortune and death wherever they went. Though there's no real reliable link between Edmund Dudley and the Dudleys that settled in Connecticut, it is said that this very curse is what followed the family all the way to the colonies. Some sources I found say that Edmund was actually just executed as a scapegoat by Henry VIII due to his predecessor's unpopular financial policies. Why? Because Edmund was actually the administrator and financial advisor to King Henry VII.
Oh my god.
But that's not exciting though. So, moving on. Edmund's son, John Dudley, the first Duke of Northumberland, also supposedly made his move in an attempt to control the crown.
Classic.
Now, John had arranged for his son, Guilford, to marry Lady Jane Grey, who was next in line for the throne. She did become queen for a short time, but the plan ultimately failed and she was executed along with both John and Guilford Dudley.
Oh my god. The plan really failed.
To top it off, Guilford's brother, a military officer that returned home from France, presumably brought along with him a plague that spread to his officers and troops. This led to the demise of a large number of British soldiers and even ended up spreading throughout the country, wiping out thousands.
Jesus.
So these Dudleys are just...
These Dudleys are not...
doing too hot. So, yeah. Robert Dudley, the Earl of Leicester and John Dudley's third son, was like, fuck this, and decided to leave England for America. It's like,
I'm done.
I'm done. I don't want to die.
I'm Dudley done.
Please. Okay. So Robert's descendant, William, settled in Guilford, Connecticut, and it was at least 3 of his descendants that ended up settling in Dudleytown.
Okay.
Gideon, Barzillai, and Abel.
Oh my. Love.
I think I said
old-timey
those names
vibes
correctly. I know, super old-timey vibes. Gideon Dudley bought land from Thomas Griffiths and settled there in 1747, and was later joined by his 2 brothers. A little later on, one Martin Dudley also moved to the area, but was not in the same family line, like direct line. Martin later married Gideon's daughter.
Okay.
So, a little bit of Sweet Home Alabama info for ya. I mean, back then,
I was gonna say, back then it was just...
people married, like, their cousins and shit all the time.
Yeah.
Not chill, calm down, but I guess it was kind of common. So... settlers continued to trickle into the area, but Dudleytown had to rely heavily on neighboring towns and settlements due to the lack of resources readily available. Again, they tried farming, but it wasn't super easy due to the lack of sunshine.
Right.
Because it was always shadowy.
Yeah, that would be not
and
ideal.
the rocky soil. So the
Not a
rocky
great
soil
combo.
and the lack of sunshine.
You gotta have at least one.
Yeah. To kind of get anywhere.
Yeah.
And there were never any churches, schools, shops, etc. ever even built in Dudleytown. So
it was more like a neighborhood.
It was definitely literally like a settlement. Like, it was not even a full town or anything yet. And the few families that ended up in Dudleytown included the Tanners, the Pattersons, the Porters, the Joneses, and a few others. But the total number of families that ever lived there only climbed up to the mid-20s.
Okay.
So it was just kind of like a camp out.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Not an ideal spot.
And then you had to go into town to get your groceries.
Right.
Like your camp. But yeah, one of the weird parts about Dudleytown's like misfortune and shit is that neighboring towns and villages did not experience nearly the same amount of struggles and oddities and shit as Dudleytown and its settlers, which is another big reason of or another big cause of speculation that has fed the fire of the idea that like supernatural forces have to be the culprit. So you know,
after a while it becomes like, what the fuck's going on?
It's kind of weird, yeah. But hey, enough beating around the bush. Let's dive into the horror of Dudleytown. Yes.
Here we go.
Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls.
So, one of the first tragedies to take place was that of Nathaniel Carter. So Nathaniel lived in Dudleytown from 1759 to 1764 and was at one point called away.
Nathaniel was called.
At one point called away due to business. So all the sources I found differ slightly. Some saying that the Carter family lived in Abel Dudley's home in Dudleytown, then moved to New York, where the curse followed them. And it was there that Nathaniel was called away on business. But unfortunately, while he was gone, his wife and child were killed by Indigenous Americans. When he returned home, he was killed shortly thereafter as well. So, Other sources say that they were killed, and then he decided to move back to New York, but then he was murdered after his return there. And yet another account tells that the Carter family moved into the heart of Native territory and were attacked there. And the attack ended with the deaths of Nathaniel, his wife, and his infant at the same time. And his other children were abducted and ransomed. His remaining son, David, stayed with the natives and married into the tribe.
Okay.
So
lots going on there. Holy.
Who really knows? the
I love all the
story.
different versions when you're looking up like really old stuff.
Really old stuff. Like, oh, okay.
There's something in this realm.
Yeah, something along those lines. Pretty
Rip
tragic,
Nathaniel.
though, regardless. So another sorry tale is one of Gershon Hollister, which took place in 1792. Two different accounts can be found regarding his accident. The first being that poor old Gershon fell to his untimely death after falling from an uncompleted structure while building a barn. The barn was to belong to William Tanner, who was Abel Dudley's closest neighbor.
Okay.
So Tanner also befell the curse and eventually went insane, though some people attribute this to just growing old, grouchy, and senile.
Yeah.
So, regardless, records show that he died at the ripe old age of 104 as a demented old man.
Oh my goodness. Harsh.
Yeah, harsh. Some accounts state that Tanner would ramble to others about strange creatures that would come out of the woods late at night, and that those creatures were what killed Hollister, not him falling from the barn.
He said, y'all seeing this shit?
He's like, holy shit. So that's a little creepy, but...
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of strange creatures coming out at night.
Woods at night. No thanks. So, Abel Dudley himself also apparently developed dementia and went cray-cray, perishing at 90. So, General Herman Swift, a general that served in the Revolutionary War under George Washington himself, also met misfortune and horror when his wife, Sarah Fay, was struck by lightning and died instantly while standing on the porch of their home.
Oh my good God.
Yeah. This caused Swift to go mad and die shortly after.
Oh my gosh.
People attribute this realistically to the fact that apparently lightning used to strike close to homes a lot back then. Because, there were no lightning rods or anything like that. It was just, I don't know. And that Swift's madness was actually just due to him getting old, too. So, who knows?
They're like, well, old people are crazy in general, so...
It would be kind of crazy to, see your spouse struck by lightning and die instantly, though. It'd probably drive me pretty crazy.
It's not like the mental health care was great back then.
No. I'd probably go a little bonkers after seeing something like that. But one of the most famous stories is that of Mary Cheney Greeley. Mary was the wife of presidential nominee Horace Greeley, and legend has it that she hung herself shortly before the election.
Okay.
However, there are also accounts that say Mary never even technically lived in Dudleytown. It was just kind of nearby in the area. and that she actually suffered from lung disease and perished from that. So,
Okay.
Horace Greeley himself also perished shortly after his wife.
Damn.
These people just dropping like flies.
I was gonna say, one after the other.
Yeah. So, come the 20th century, John Patrick Brophy was the final resident of Dudleytown in 1901 as the population dwindled. In a horrible wave of circumstances, his wife died of tuberculosis.
The old TB.
Yeah.
Back to strike again.
Yeah. After her funeral, his 2 children wandered off into the woods and vanished, never to be seen or heard from again.
Don't do that!
Then, his home burned to the ground, and shortly after that, Brophy himself wandered into the forest and vanished.
Okay.
So that's just a crazy series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
And I mean, a couple accounts or like videos or things that I listened to were saying like it definitely could have been, like it would make sense at that point to just kind of be like, fuck this. Like if he burnt his house down and decided to just ditch, like,
yeah.
Your wife died, your kids vanished.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like you're the last resident of this place. Like, just burn it to the ground.
Going out and
leave.
A fucking blaze.
Yeah, so...
like, I'm gonna light this bitch up. Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah. But the fire that burnt down his house, never... was always, like, unexplained, like, the cause. So...
mystery.
Could have been an accident, could have been on purpose. Who knows? But by the 1900s, Dudleytown was completely deserted, and anything left of the settlement was reclaimed by nature. The last major story to mention at this point involves Dr. William Clark.
Okay.
In the 1920s, Clark purchased about 1,000 acres of land in the area, with some of it including Dudleytown.
William? You say William?
Come on, Willie.
Willie? Don't you know about the curse?
Yeah, get your act together. So sources state that he lived with his wife in the area and was at one point also called away on business. Upon his return, not even 2 full days later, it was like 36 hours or something, he was greeted by the sound of creepy laughter and found his wife to be absolutely insane.
WT fuck? His wife went insane right when he got back?
Within like 36 hours or something. That he was gone.
The creepy laughter.
Yeah, so to quote Legendary Connecticut by David E. Phillips, written in 1984, quote, as he pushed open the front door, which had been left slightly ajar, he heard a sound that he would never forget. From an upstairs room came the maniacal, uncontrolled laughter of one who had taken leave of her senses.
Oh my god.
During his absence, his wife had gone quite mad. End quote.
My goodness. Okay. I'm on team curse right now. Not that I'm like supportive of it, but I'm like, I don't know, man.
Just the series of events. The list just kept going. I was like, my jaw was dropping more and more each time. I was like, what the fuck?
That's wild.
Yeah. So,
that last one's sad too.
Yeah.
Also, I just can't stop picturing the children wandering
into the forest.
I want to know like how many people would try to like go in there at all, because I feel like it would be insanely easy to get lost in a forest like that.
Well, yeah. One that's
it's
dark.
Just dark all the time.
It's dark all the goddamn time.
The goddamn time.
Ugh. No, thank you. There were also, like, mentions here and there of, like, I don't know if it was, like, the little, or the strange creatures or something that Tanner had mentioned or whatever, but I remember there being references of people talking about strange little men that would come out of the forest.
Okay.
Or, like, strange, or, like, little... mini creatures that was like, no thank you, no thank you. I can't remember the name of what I'm thinking of right now, but no thanks.
No thanks.
No.
Not at all.
But present day, nothing much remains of the original settlement other than cellar holes and some stone foundations, and the land has been closed to the public due to vandalism and trespassers. Those that live in the area strongly discourage folks from heading into Dudleytown or ghost hunting, saying that there's absolutely nothing supernatural about Dudleytown and that essentially people are just fucking stupid, so leave it alone. To paraphrase.
Interesting. Sounds like it's haunted.
It's funny you would say that, because it sounds like you're wrong. But, but fucking leave it alone. Like, don't go trespassing. Don't go vandalizing shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway. Looking at things realistically, a lot of the downfall could be attributed to be much of the downfall could be attributed to natural causes, like the progression of people moving west. Like populations in general kind of dwindled everywhere as families and like younger people decided to move west. And additionally, crops don't do too well in soil full of rocks and without sunlight.
Right.
So considering the shadows that constantly fell, like crops would likely fail. Like it's not
a farm town.
Yeah, it wasn't like a grassy plain. Another point to make is that, as I said earlier, people had to travel to neighboring settlements and towns for the majority of what they needed, since the valley couldn't produce enough food or resources. So,
not very helpful.
Yeah,
not really what you're trying to.
And they didn't have a church either. Again. So, yeah.
Oh God, how could they live without that?
They can't. Maybe that's why they were cursed.
I was gonna say, maybe the devil smote them.
Really cool, you don't have a church.
Is that the past tense of smite?
Smote. The devil smote you.
If it's not, it is
smited?
now.
Smote.
I was gonna say smited, but smote sounded more fun.
I like smote.
Anyway.
I don't know. But yeah, they didn't have a church, so they had to go to Cornwall for their services and to bury their dead, because they didn't have a graveyard, because those were always at churches. So like they traveled to the next door neighborhoods pretty frequently. So why not just move
yeah.
to that place?
Yeah, why not just get the fuck out of this godforsaken town?
Yeah,
honestly.
it would certainly seem like a hassle to try and make it work, like staying in Dudleytown.
Just seems like such an unfortunate set of circumstances. Like, it's almost like, I mean, there's obviously places like that now where it's
like a cute vacation home, like in the cool shadowy area, whatever.
Right.
To go to in summer.
You can go visit it. But not when you're trying to, like, sustain life.
The natural resources there were not banging. No. Also, I feel like some of the Sweet Home Alabama incest would be a potential player in folks' mental health degrading. Or just plain old insanity. But it is truly strange how Dudleytown seemed to have case after case, while the other surrounding areas didn't. Like, at least to the same extent.
Yeah.
Like, everybody there was just going, like, fucking crazy, I guess.
I was gonna say, like, back in the day, you know,
maybe they weren't getting enough vitamin D or something.
Advanced. I was gonna say, they'll have seasonal depression all year.
Yeah. Just
straight up depression because there's no light.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, back in those times, it was a lot more common for people to have rapidly declining mental health, illness, blah, blah, blah. But when you say that the surrounding towns were, like, not going through this level of misfortune, I'm like,
it is pretty strange.
It makes you scratch the chin a little.
Yeah. But again, you're right. Maybe they were all just like fucking depressed. Like they were not getting sunshine.
They needed that.
Living in Washington,
we know how that's.
We know how that how that feels. But Yeah.
Darkness was not their ally.
No, it was not. So take all of that how you will, but the Dark Entry Forest Association, which still exists today, was founded back in the 1920s and has helped preserve the forest. Something else that I didn't include but was kind of interesting is that Dr. William Clark helped found the Dark Entry Forest Association.
Interesting.
So, that was an interesting little bit of info.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if it was after or before his wife went insane, but
He was like, I need something else to do.
he's like, God, I need a hobby.
Oh my God. Dark Entry Forest. I'm like looking it up. I have to see pictures of shit.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
the association also strongly discourages trespassers because they're trying to preserve the area and preserve the forest. Again, they've had to unfortunately close off much of the forest to the public anyway due to the trespassers and vandalism, which is just a shame in my opinion. That people do be dumb.
People be pooping on shit.
Yeah, it's a shame though, you know. Like, leave nature alone. Leave nature out of it. She didn't do anything. She's beautiful, mysterious, and scary. Like, don't
fuck with Mother Nature.
leave her alone.
Not to bring it back to the Titan submersible, but
Oh my God.
don't fuck with Mother Nature.
Water will fucking kill you. It does not make any distinction. But yeah, there's the series of unfortunate events that has earned Dudleytown the title of the Village of the Damned and has caused years of legend and speculation.
What a dark history.
Isn't that creepy?
That's so creepy. Also, I can't imagine
head
just
scratcher.
stepping out onto my porch and getting fucking struck with lightning. That's horrible.
Right? Like, maybe you're going out there to, like, admire the sun, well, it probably wasn't sunny if there was lightning.
At 9 a.m. before the sun is,
Like, going to do something out there. She was out on the porch
Smell
for some
some
reason.
fresh air. She's like,
Zeus was like, fuck you.
God was like, y'all don't have a church?
He took his protection away. Why did I say that? Anyway.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that was lovely.
Wasn't that
it wasn't lovely, but it was interesting.
A roller coaster.
Oh my gosh.
Very interesting. I had never heard of Dudleytown.
Me either.
I was like, what the heck? Like I said, my jaw was just like dropping more and more. I was like,
what's with this town?
What is up with these people? The list of just tragic, like, accidents just kept going.
That's so fucked.
When
it just literally ceases to exist, too. It's not like, oh, this used to be this way. It's like, no one lives there anymore.
No, yeah, it's like a ghost town. It's not even a ghost town. It's just like some
it's just
like,
land.
Stone foundations and stuff that's left. But yeah, take what you want from that. Some people think that it's definitely still haunted, like Ed and Lorraine Warren, like officially declared it as demonic.
This place is officially haunted.
Get the haunted stamp. Get the red ink. Just bam, haunted. Case closed.
That's so weird that I've never heard of that. Like, if the Warrens were going there, I feel like I would have heard about that.
Yeah, I found that
crazy.
bit of info yesterday and I was like, what the fuck? There's no way.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. But
well, thank you for the story.
Thank you for the story, and thank you all for joining us today.
On this fine day. If you guys want to, you should, go follow us on Instagram, Rants and Rabbit Trails Pod, and TikTok. Yeah. And
have a glorious day.
Have a fantastical
day. Hope that you don't get struck by lightning on your front porch.
We hope that you don't pay for a cruise that ends up being a week of hell.
Yeah. Wish you the best. Have a good day.
Girl, bye!
Girl, bye!